Hello everybody and welcome back to the Fortress of Solitude. Today we're going to be checking out Batman Superman World's Finest issue 25 by Mark Waid, Steve Pugh and Dan Mora. This is a special oversized 25th issue that instead of doing a Batman Superman team up, it's a World's Vilest team up as Lex Luthor and Joker team up. The story centers around Lex busting Joker out of Arkham to help him read a magical scroll that whenever anyone reads it, they just go insane. But Lex figures with an insane person like the Joker would just kind of cancel itself out and he'd be able to take it and read it. Right off the bat, Waid delivers a very fun Lex-Joker dynamic and is a very buddy cop sort of dynamic as well. It's Lex as the straight-edged, no-nonsense one, while Joker is the loose cannon who wants some fun. This Joker as well is a lot more fun than what we've seen in the Batman comics recently. This is, the slapstick Joker, he's the one who likes the comedy and likes the gags and everything. He's not like serial killer Joker that's been more prevalent in the comics as of late, and I think it's a welcome return to this Joker. I have missed this Joker so much. It's just so much fun seeing him just know that he's getting under Lex's skin and he just keeps on prying and keeps on going in and just teasing him and making him really frustrated. Because of all these pranks and jokes that Joker is pulling on Lex, he immediately begins to question his decisions, but as an insurance policy, he slaps a bomb collar on the villain so he plays nice. Joker eventually determines that the scroll is actually a map, and it leads the villains to the secret entrance to the Rock of Eternity. Waid uses their travel to explore what makes both villains tick and why they fight their respective heroes. Waid has written both Lex and Joker famously throughout the years, and yet still makes a meal out of something as simple as just stating their mission statements. It's a great set of panels that help paint something that we've heard time and time again in some new light, and also kind of hits home the fact that while they both think they are very different from one another and have different goals and achievements, they really are exactly the same. Of course, we get to see Joker wants to help rid the world of Batman because he thinks Batman is very mundane and boring, and he thinks life should be about unexpected surprises around every corner, even if those surprises are, Joker toxin or a flower full of acid. And Lex, of course, goes on a very eloquent speech about how he wants Superman not to be so arrogant and, not to be this big high and mighty hero that he is, but really it just boils down to he hates that there is an alien who is taking the spotlight away from him. Steve Pugh draws the world's vilest adventure here, and I've always loved Steve's work. It's always really nice to look at, and this was just a really easy sell to me to have him as the artist. Like Dan Mora's work in the book before him, Steve's work is very colourful and vibrant, making great use of the villains, sharing a lot of the similar colours in their costumes and their tools and their gadgets. And also, thanks to the story having a magical aspect to it, he gets to play around with some pretty wacky paneling once we get into the Rock of Eternity. After going through a few doors inside the Rock of Eternity, the world's vilest reach their destination, the Heart of Eternium, which will give the wielder the power to bring their greatest fantasies to life. In just a completely unforeseen, shocking twist, Joker betrays Lex and reveals that the bomb collar he's been wearing hasn't actually worked since he left LexCorp, as he made one of Lex's assistants deactivate it before killing the man. And Lex didn't know because he just doesn't check in on his assistants because he just doesn't care for them. Joker wants to make the world in his image, which, while we don't actually get to see it, Waid gruesomely paints us some details in the monologue as Lex sees it and in turn decides to play hero to defeat the Joker so that world does not come to pass. To do that, he has to destroy the heart, which of course means he loses his chance to kill Superman once and for all. Before getting to the heart though, they did fight a monster which, being a Rock of Eternity monster that was guarding this heart, I would have thought would have been a bit more harder to kill, but Joker is just able to do it with his electrocuting umbrella. So that felt like a bit of a cop-out, and maybe it was Waid realizing that he's only got a couple of pages left so he can't have some big drawn-out fight. The story then ends with Joker back in Arkham ranting about his adventure, but no one of course believes him because it's the Joker, and Lex angered at the fact that he couldn't kill Superman, but also kind of liking the idea that he actually saved the entire world, and Superman, for all of his powers and hubris, didn't even know it was in peril. Lex and Joker aren't the only ones with a story this issue, as we get a prologue to the upcoming arc involving Mr. Mxyzptlk. Nothing really big happens in this, as it's just a prologue, so it's just a couple of pages long, but Mxyzptlk and Batmite end up coming to the world's finest for help, but there is a neat little action sequence involving space animals and Batman's robot T-Rex and Penny coming to light, and this is all thanks to some chaos magic that is following Mxyzptlk and Batmite. Dan Mora really carries the story with his slick and colourful artwork that is filled with some really neat references from past Superman and Batman books, as well as just pop culture in general, as one of the animals that Batman ends up fighting and that Superman ends up putting back in the Galactic Zoo is just Pikachu, except it looks a bit more like a cat dog sort of creature, but it's the same colours as Pikachu. It uses lightning based attacks. Really cool reference. Honestly though, this could have probably just gone at the front of the next issue, and I don't think it would have upset the story flow at all in that. It would have been a nice little sort of bit of action, light action before the big heavy story hits, so it could have just gone in there, and here it didn't really serve a purpose besides getting you hyped up for that next issue. World's Finest shift over to a Lex Luthor Joker story for its 25th issue was a welcome change of pace, and a great way to break up the big Kingdom Come story with the upcoming Mxyzptlk arc. Mark Waid clearly loves writing these villainous characters and enjoys putting them in some really fun and different situations, since I can't think the last time that Lex and Joker both tangled with magic, and it's always really fun when you take characters and put them in a different type of story than what you usually see them in. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10.